right, it says that this Hangout on air is live.
Yes.
And I see like a big tunnel, it's all disappearing into the distance.
Yes.
So, okay, so
That's
I'm going
why
to...
you are going on Hangout screen.
Yeah.
But fine now. If you are in C9, by the way, I'm Inanç Kahramankaptan.
Hello, I'm Robert Stroud. It's nice to meet you. So I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on the coursework. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen here?
Clearly, and I also in C9 I can I can collaborate with you also.
Okay, I've shared my space with you. Okay, so which of us is going to start programming first?
Please take the first step.
Okay, I will start. So I'm going to
let's switch on part 2 and switch back at part 3. Maybe in part 3 we can work together. But in the first part, please go on.
Okay. So I think we saw how to do this first one, didn't we? In the in the video. So I think the idea is that we do a kind of map reduce on the array. So we inject as it were, we inject a plus sign between each element in the array. So perhaps if I have a little practice here to make sure this works the way I think it does. If I have an array like that, and if I say array.inject plus sign, I think that's supposed to be like saying 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So you kind of put the plus sign in between each element of the array and you get 10. So that looks as if it's the right way to do it. So I'm going to do it like this, okay? And does that seem right?
Yeah, I see this type of syntax in the PDF documents. Yes,
yeah.
Because all things are objects.
Yeah. Okay. So now I think to test this, we have to. It says that to test the first part of this, we have to we have to run the test like this. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go into my terminal window, and I'm going to try running that test, and it fails. And it fails. Yeah. It fails spectacularly. Okay.
Wonderfully fine, because at the first step, this is more like TDD. It is like test-driven development, and I never experienced it like this before. But can you look what had failed?
Okay. It's very unobvious what has failed, but it is.
Yeah. But you know what is.
I see what is happening. Yes, I see. I see what I have done. It says use the local run blah 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 rspec whatever inload cannot load the file home Ubuntu workspace spec part 1 spec rb. Okay, and that's because I'm basically not in the right folder. Okay, I'm in the folder workspace rather than the folder. I should actually be in the folder coursework / HW. Where should I be? Coursework / HW dash.
Put tab. Just.
Yeah, I am pressing tab. It doesn't seem to want to complete, which is a bit annoying. No, I don't know. Okay,
CD coursework. Let's do it like this.
I see what it is. I see.
Okay.
It's really confusing. It's really confusing. Yeah. The workspace is called coursework, but in the bash shell it calls it workspace. So I was looking up here and it says coursework, but down here it says workspace. So go figure. Okay.
Okay.
There we
You
go.
know, this makes us feel young again, like baby.
Yes.
So
Oh, yeah.
this is so nice.
Yes. We're going to make all the
Okay.
mistakes. We're going to make all the mistakes, and everybody can watch us making all the mistakes. So that's okay. Right.
Which is very nice and also encouraging
Yeah.
because you have a good career career about this stuff, and you do mistakes and you correct it, you learn it again and again. This is
Yeah.
a good thing. This is why we are on MOOCs.
Yes, it's good. And as you say, you know, it's what is it? The sum is greater than the sum of the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
we get synergy from working together. That again. So that seems to have failed miserably too. At least it ran. I have a
Yes,
feeling.
very nice. It is defined. That is fine.
I have the feeling that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say I have a feeling that the problem might be that I've forgotten to save the file. I'm not sure. Let me just. Yeah, there's all changes saved now. So maybe if I run it again, it will work. Okay. Right. It's a bit better this time. The first time it failed both tests, and the second time it only failed one of the tests. And so it works if there's something in the array, but it doesn't work if the array is empty.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have a look and see what happens if the array is empty. So I'm going to set my test array to empty.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do array.inject. Inkjet, that's not quite the word I mean.
It's more like a printer job.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Array.inject, okay. Okay. So it's supposed to return nil. So it's supposed to return 0 and it returns nil.
So we need a summation initialization.
Okay. That's right. So we need to start it with something. I mean, we could do something like if the array size is 0, then return 0. Otherwise, do the array inject thing. But that seems a bit ugly to me. So I'm going to have a look at the documentation for array and the inject.
Can I give you information?
If you wish, yes.
Can you please switch to your code?
Yeah.
So, you know, I will try to point, but I don't know if I can, if it is seen on the screen or not. But I will try to select it.
Okay.
Do you
Yes,
see it? I
can see.
selected. The last thing you computed is a default return value.
Yeah.
What you are doing is you are returning the computation of array and with injection of some operator, some procedure on it. But for me, I'm more like a C or C++ like type person. I want to have a return value first, and then do the job and return it to this return value, assign it to this return value, and return like that, return that value. So maybe
Okay. So are you thinking it should be something like result equals 0 if array equals empty, result equals 0. Actually, that's silly, isn't it? If array is not equal to empty, result equals array.inject thingy. Thinking, are you saying it should be something like that?
Yeah, but maybe there will be some problems. I'm not confident with Ruby syntax, but like do's and ends, you may need it. You have to compile it. I mean,
Yes.
not compile it. You have to test it, and it will give some. It may give some errors.
Yes, I must admit I'm not too sure about that syntax either. I think there's maybe needs to be an end on the end of the if statement, but let's see what happens when we run it. See if it's any better. Okay, yeah, it looks like there's a syntax error there. Expecting keyword end. Right. Okay. So I think the keyword end would go here. So this is how you think we should do it. Yes.
If you use an end, most probably you will use a do also, but let's try it.
Okay.
Let's try if it works.
Now I've forgotten to save it again. I keep doing this.
Which is not a big trouble. Okay, you are fine. Which is not a big trouble if you delete, if not only if you delete your code. I mean, you have to save regularly, but you know, as an extra point, there are some frameworks or some let's say some things like guards, which when you save, they run all the tests. But if you're writing code and to be safe, you are saving, they run all the codes, and it gives a lots of errors. So if we are not using guards, which is written as I will write it on your code as a comment. Maybe we can use it later. I will learn it later.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean guard exactly?
Guard. This is this thing. What it does is it's run all the tests when you save, because you know we have these tests. We are doing it. We are working manually.
Yeah.
We are selecting it manually, but with guard, you do something like this. This is this leads a test-driven development. When you have all the tests, you write the tests, and then you start coding. The testers or the test team may be giving you the tests, and you just started developing your code. When you click and save, it runs all the tests.
Okay. So
you
I
can.
think, yeah, I understand what you're saying here, but I think there's two different things. Okay. There's
yes.
you can.
I'm just giving an extra information.
Yeah. Okay. I think you may be mixing up two different things here. So there's the idea that when you commit code to a repository, which is sort of, if you like, when you save some code that you've been working on, you're not allowed to save your code unless it passes all of the tests, okay? But there's also the idea that when you run your code, it runs some tests automatically and tells you if your code is correct or not. So I think there's two different things here. Now, what we're doing at the moment is we're running the tests by using this RSpecs thing, which is separate. But if we wanted to put some tests in the code, we could do things like they were doing. some wrong sum of empty array some okay, so if we go back to what we had, so if I do something like this, okay, I think if I press run, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but
wow,
okay, that seemed to work. But perhaps if I take that bit out, which is the bit we put in to fix that problem,
yeah,
you see, so this is wrong. So if that's what you mean by the guards, you know, then I think we can do it this way. So we can say raise.
This is not the guard works. Guard, what you say is continuous integration. To check in, you have to test all your tests. But before in the staging area, when you just develop your code, not before you check in, you can run your tests and see if it is all right or not.
Yes. Oh yes.
You may have a smaller set of tests also, but this is a good way, and I will, if you permit, I will copy and paste to my inventory, and I will use this way to test my code.
Of course.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now, if you notice, this is wrong at the moment. It's not getting the empty array right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
you will change your code again.
Yes. Well, there's another way of doing it actually, which I found in the manual. So if we have a look at the documentation for the inject method for the array class, I'm going to have to find it. Where's it gone? Maybe it's not a method on array. It's a method on enumerable. Yeah, inject. So you can inject an initial value in, okay, and that's how you deal with the empty case. So if we have a look here, for example,
let's try it then.
If I do array, you can see if I do array.inject. I just inject the tries to put the plus, but there's nothing to put the plus between, so it gives nothing. Okay, but if I say if I inject 0 first, it puts a 0 and then it puts a plus between the 0 and each element of the array. So it puts a 0 and then there's no elements of the array, so the result is just 0. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's try it and see if the tests are okay with it, and if it is, it will be more poetic, you know.
Exactly. This is a more poetic solution, I think. So let's try this. Okay, so I put so it's array inject 0, and we run it, and ta-da! It works. That's good. Okay, so we've managed to do the first one. Now, do you want to have a go at the second one?
Yes. Let me have this one, and by the way, I'm taking notes that we are changing the payrolls on part 1, exercise 2. I'm taking a note in Notepad++ with the time.
Yeah.
Because we may need to share it with other people, and okay. I will send you via email the timings also, so you can commit your job, commit your comments to the graders.
Okay, that would be
Okay.
helpful. Yes, thank you.
So
Do you want to share? Do you want to share your screen with me now, rather than the other way round?
no, I will code directly into your into your C9 if you prefer, but I can also share my code.
Why don't you share? Why don't you share with me, because that will be easier for you, because then I'm on the end of the internet connection, and you can type directly. It'll be easier for you.
In directly to your C9 or
yes.
Yeah, I will.
You type into my C9, but instead of us sharing my screen, we share your screen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will do it. Now you see your screen. With inject.
I still see. I'm not sure how this works. Ooh.
You have to.
I have to
change.
stop. Okay, try.
Nice. I can see you, but Robert, there is at the right bottom corner, which is called U and which is called Inanç.
Oh yes, yeah.
You see a C9 page.
Yeah, I can see your C9 page.
Actually, this is your C9 page, but
right.
It is shown through my eyes.
That's right, yes.
Okay, so I will write through your C9. So you can also switch to your code, and we can work with this way. Okay. Switch to your code C9 view, and I'm also starting to code some max2 sum array. Okay.
Do you want to put in some of these little tests or guards or whatever you want to call them? Do you want to put in something like this before you start?
Maybe.
So you could...
Let's do it like this and do it like this. I will use them. Sorry, I will use them later. For max2 sum array, first I have to check if the array is nil or array is empty. This is my first case, and return 0 if array nil or array dot length is it no I think it is like this. Okay, and I will
okay, I'm not sure that's quite right, but let's see what happens when you run that.
Okay, we will. I will run that, but can you share with me why it is not right?
I think there's a syntax error, but we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens. This would be nil array.
Nil array, and this is 2. Also, for the sake of convenience, you know, I'm expanding spec at the left bar of your screen. Do you see it?
You're doing what, sorry?
I'm expanding the folder spec.
Oh, okay. What,
There's a part 1 spec RB, which
yeah.
here, and for the max 2 sum, first it should be defined, and it is defined, and then these are the test cases, and I see this is the 4th test case, but we can do. What I'm going to do is I'm taking this.
I don't quite see what. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I can't. It's not happening on my screen, but I can see it when you're on your screen. I think.
Yeah.
You're
so
under spec. So what you're doing is under spec. You're opening out the specification there. Yeah, I see.
It is with what you provide me, this is easier to test all the cases, because you know, see, I'm taking this code. I see it. I put some markings on the test.
Yeah.
See. So I'm taking this code and put it right what you taught me. This is my another test case.
Okay. Yeah.
So thank you to use this as a good test.
Yeah, I got it. It's not my idea. I got it from the video that the guy in Hawaii did. It was his.
So let's thank to the guy.
We should thank the guy in Hawaii.
Yeah. So not IRBs.
We should. I'm just going to break the protocol slightly and change that to empty, because that one's an empty array rather than a nil array test.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, you are the orange, I am the purple, as you can see. So all the people, you can see at the read write column with the rightmost bar, we have our colors.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
You can see who is writing is the code. We are writing that's my line. So you see that's what you corrected me. Thank you.
Okay.
And so I'm saving it, our spec with.
I think you can just press the run button, actually. That seems to be the easiest way of doing it.
Yeah, let's do it. But most probably that will just be unhappy with me because I'm not okay, I will try to run that, right?
Mm-hmm. Aha.
Length. That's why
that was the syntax error. Yes, I was wondering.
That was because of I use as an assignment, but it is equal.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yes, I wasn't sure what Ruby would do, so it was interesting to see what it did. You know, but it's a common problem: equals and equals and so on.
I cannot see with run. I will stick on RSpec and let me give you a moment. I will take it from the GitHub, the command that we are going to run for testing.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it is like of course we have problems, but it is defined first of all, and the fourth test is passed.
Yeah.
And for the run, you are running and you're raising some codes. Do I have to see something like extraordinary in here, or this means it worked? Yeah, I think it worked.
So when we run it like this, so when we press the run button,
yeah,
it works because these two tests are correct. This is the only code it's executing. But for
so
example,
NIM has no problems.
But if we were to take out this one,
Yes.
and we were to say max sum, so this is going to be max sum T3. So what do you think? What do you think the answer for this one should be?
It will raise error with the max to sum T3 test 3.
What is the correct answer? What is the answer we will be looking for here?
I have to code it.
No. But you don't have to code it. You have to write the test.
Okay, this should be 7.
Okay, so there's the test. So let's run it, and it fails. It fails the test. Okay, as we would expect.
I cannot see how it fails. I do not see.
If you run it in your window, it will fail. There seems to be a problem. We can only see the code. We're not sharing the terminal. Is there a way we can share the terminal, I wonder?
Yes, I will. Yeah, it's the runtime error. Thank you so much. By the way, we do not have to run this test over and over again, because we have actually we are testing in line by doing this. But we have a test suite like this. I will write. Sorry. We are doing. Maybe you cannot see. Maybe it is not shared. But do you see that I write something with RSpec? This is automatically testing all the things for part 1.
Okay, so if we want to run that, we could run that from the terminal window, and I think it will pass.
Please do the thing with your window, so you can also see at the command line.
Yeah, I can see the comment that you've just added in, but what I can't see is, what I don't know is how we share the whether we can sort of share the terminal or something. But
okay, so please change to Google Hangouts window and see your C9 through my eyes.
Okay.
So you see there is a red lines and green lines.
Yes, I see that. Yeah.
So see at the hashtag sum, all the tests are passed. At the hashtag max2 sum, it should be defined. Yes, we defined. And returns 0 if the array is empty.
It's correct,
Okay.
but the other three tests, it's not working.
Yes. We need to code them.
Okay.
So now I'm starting to code them as well.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm also reading the description of the problem, and for an empty array it should return 0. For an array with just one element, it should return that element. I will be coding on this now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just returning the element if array has only one element.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, but
So
we don't have a unit test for that. So you need to add a test case for that, don't you?
If now I want to share you another thing, which is, you see, if you look at your C9 through my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just rerun rspec spec part 1 spec rb.
Mm-hmm.
Why I do this? If you are working in a development team and you have another team which is test team, and you are doing test-driven development, this test team should give the necessary tests that covers all the aspects of the description of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then what I need to do at first, I need to I need to pass all my tests.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's done. If these tests do not cover the whole problem, all the possible situations, or and it is most probably this way it will be. But if these tests do not cover it, then test engineers should have to write some more tests to cover it. Then I will develop, because it is test-driven development.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I emphasize it, because in the course it is talking about the test-driven development.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You give me a wonderful solution to raise with the raising exceptions. You raise exceptions with doing tests, but I will just do it rspecting.
Okay.
And I have another problem. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
I will check it for it, and if I have any problems,
You should probably comment out the T3 test, because that's causing the problem.
let's do it like this. But what I take it, let's do it as 2.5 tests. Okay.
No, make it 3 and the other one 4. It's more. We don't need half tests.
Okay. I will just give 1 like this, and I expect 1. But what you see here is a compilation error, I guess.
No, it's a runtime exception. If you look first line, it's saying that the
yes. Then I will.
Actually, I'm not quite sure what it is because it's
Just,
it does look at the syntax. It's a stack trace. Yes, it's a stack trace. It's saying top required. I don't quite understand what that's about, but anyway, it's an exception.
Yeah, but yeah, I see runtime error. Okay, but I just I'm not working on this T4, so I just close it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will use rspec again, and this is another good thing on rspec, because you see it here, look it with my eyes, you have two two red tests.
Okay, but we now have 3 green, don't we? 3 green and 2 red.
Yeah. We pass another test, but when we are raising errors, it is a quicker way. When we are raising, while we are testing via raising exceptions, this is a quicker way. But if we can learn how to write this, the things in part 1 spec.rb, if we learn how to do it, then you see the things, we are having 5 tests, and we do not have to run the tests with sequence. They are all run, and the red ones come as a in the report for us.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're right. Instead of stopping on the first test that fails, it's actually running all of them, and then it's reporting which ones are working and which ones are failing. Yes, that's the difference between having a proper unit test framework and putting in random exceptions like this. These are more like assertions than a unit test.
Yes, for sure.
But as assertions, they're quite effective.
But I will learn in the next week to how to write this assertions. This is another issue, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, look on this. Okay. The third aspect I am reading is we should return. We should take the maximum of these 2 elements. The maximum 2 elements from the array and sum that. Okay. The issue I will write it as like this. And like this, and in the end, not like this, in the end I will return, I will return this plus this. Okay, the thing we have to uncover what we are going to do it like this. Okay. Now we can, I prefer to use C I know this is not right, but I will sorry. I have this thing. I have to check if bigger than this.
Excuse me a minute. I'm just getting a phone call from somebody. I'll rejoin you in a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have a 5 minutes break. Are you there? Okay. I'm preparing for you.
Hi, hello. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So no problem. I prepared something for you, and I know it is highly probably will fail. It will highly probably will fail, but let's face it.
Incidentally, there was something I wanted to show you actually. Can you go to the do you have a thing with the instructions in? In fact, I think it's in the README. So the README that's not the top level README, but the README that came with the homework.
Yeah, I will just copy for the first do you know if there is something like this in Ruby? No, I don't think so. I'm just pasting this. Oh, no,
yeah, no, it's not that bit. If you go to
yeah, I can see it another window, and I'm just my Chrome.
Let me just switch to my screen for a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Yeah. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can see you.
Yeah, you can't see me anymore. Can you see my view? Okay. Can you see my view of the coursework?
Let me say you this. We have two windows, you know. From your side, I can see you, and from my side, I can see your screen through my eyes.
Okay, I'm still not quite sure. So can you see my face or not?
Yes, I can see your face.
Okay, so, okay, I wonder if I can, perhaps if we go.
You can go to the left side of your screen share. Okay, you share all of the screen. Okay, now we are okay.
This is okay, right? So what I wanted to show you was this thing here. Okay, actually, so this is it says that you can test the parts separately, so you can run part 1 and you can run part 2, but you can actually run the particular set of tests individually. So at the moment, what you're doing is when you run the tests.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Let me show you. Okay,
I'm doing that.
So when you're doing this, you're running the tests for all the things in part 1, but we're only actually working on one method. And so if I can make this thing scroll left, you can actually just run the tests for that very particular method. Okay, and what you basically do is you put a line number on the end. So you say run the RSpec part 1, but just run the tests at line 23. And then if we do
I got it. Fantastic.
You see, and then what happens is, you see, we're only running the part 1. We're only running the max 2 sum test. We're not running the tests for the other things.
Okay, I'm doing it like this. And see, I learned a new thing.
Yeah, okay. So shall we go back to your screen now? Whoops, I'm going to have to stop sharing. It's gone all crazy again.
Okay, I'm at your C9 and I know my problem because there are two things. You know, you see from the failures, from the tests, they are giving max sum 1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And it is expected -1 because of the 1 and -2, but we got -5.
Actually, okay.
That's why, because I give 0 to max sum value. Okay, I will.
Can you think of another value you could use there? There's actually a different problem with your code as well, but can you think of supposing you initialize them to something other than 0, what would you use?
The fifth way is just I know the thing. Okay, I can write this because I know the tests.
Okay.
This is like test-driven development, but they want to kill me. Okay, and
so
I can say, yeah.
I think there are 2 possible values you could use here. Okay, one would be sort of min int, if there's such a thing in Ruby. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other would be nil.
And another value, I looked at I asked Google, I Googled it, and I find that Ruby has an interesting issue. If I give a maximum value +1, it's when it is 32-bit, it just extends to a large int, and it is the same way at the minus phase. So they are doing something like this. They are taking the size of the integer, and they are exponenting with this size.
Yeah, I think
they are getting a mean value with this. So, but as a guerrilla development phase, this is also okay for me if nothing, not my possible inputs cannot be lower than this.
Okay.
So
I
will put this.
Okay. I have another suggestion, which I think might work quite well. I don't know. Actually, I found. I wonder if we can. Is there a chat thing we can use here?
Yes, but the chat thing is deleted when we share the YouTube link and close the Hangout.
Oh, okay.
So
But,
I will just comment.
okay, so that's
and you can write your code. I will happy to see.
Okay, so this is a link that I found on. I just did a Google for Ruby maxint minint, and I found it's basically what you're suggesting, but it's sort of done. In fact, it's max rather than min. How does he do the min? It doesn't say. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what he does. So this is quite a nice way of doing it. It's similar to what you've done, but he's wrapped it up in some he's wrapped it up in some as a class. So he's declared a class. I don't quite know where all that 42 stuff's come from, but he's basically done a max and a min, and then he can refer to integer max and integer min and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's a sort of Ruby way of doing it, but it's sort of what you've done. I have another suggestion though, which is that I think it would be interesting to see what happens if you said, and I don't know what would happen, but supposing we said some value is nil.
Let's try it.
What do you think would happen?
Let's try it. I'm saving and running these tests and see what is the outcome. Should be defined. It's failed now.
Okay, so it doesn't like that.
Yeah.
What was it passing before? When you had 0? Okay, I think that what I was hoping would happen would be that if you compare a number with nil, that any number is bigger than nil, but it depends how Ruby treats. Actually, let's try this in IRB. Okay, so
nil. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. Okay. And what happens if you type 10 greater than nil? Okay, so that's a pity, because that would have been a nice way to do it if it had worked.
Yeah, for sure. But then let's do it like.
I have another suggestion that might work though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
If you know that there are 2 values in the array, then you could set the maximum. Well, if you know there's at least 1 value in the array, then you can set the maximum value to be the first value in the array. And then you compare that value with all the other values in the array. So that means your loop, you have to write a loop that sort of starts at 1 rather than at 0.
Can you show me?
Yeah, sure. So the idea would be you'd say something like max. And then what you would say is 1 to array, is it array length 2, okay, and that way, okay, and we should try this in IRB and see if this works, okay. Let me switch screens to me so that I can see what's happening. How is this working? You can see me at the moment, yes? Can you see me?
I am in a moment. I hope. Yeah, I see you.
Okay, so well, you shouldn't see me now because I've switched to something else. I don't quite understand how this sharing thing works.
Okay, it is working like this. You can go to the screen share. You will click the screen share button. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you click it? Then there is a lot of, sorry for the cat, a lot of windows as options. It comes to you. This whole screen which you are choosing all the time, but it is the Chrome or your browser, which is named most probably Codework, Cloud9 or something like that.
No, it's called
Please.
desktop. It's called desktop, which is really unhelpful. So I can do Hangout.
No, if you select the Hangout, then it will you will have a double mirror effect.
Okay, so I select desktop.
It is yeah.
Which we get the double.
It is also.
We get the double.
Then you will switch to your code.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all.
That's okay, is it? So now you can see my code.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just see if this thing will work. Okay. So I'm going to put a whole bunch of silly numbers in. I don't know, 5, 1, 42 minus 17, 208. Okay. Now I wouldn't be surprised if there's a max operator. I don't know if that's true. Hang on, let's see if there is.
Yeah.
Aha. So there's actually a max operator. But you're doing is this something like this: biggest equals array naught. Okay, and then I'm going to say 1 to array dot, is it length? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. What have I done wrong there? Oh,
one.
I thought 2 was a method that you could use on integers. How do you do? What have I done? What's wrong with my syntax there?
1 dot array length. Maybe you can do it.
That's right. That's how you do it. That's it. Thank you. So it's 1 dot array length. I knew it was something like that. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then, okay, that didn't work too well. Why was that wrong? Can you see what's wrong with that?
Because we are working in 1.6. We have 6 elements, and we are trying to choose among it. I mean, you can use array each. It is in each element.
But that's not going to achieve the effect I want to see. because if I say if I say array each, that's going to look at all of them. I want to look at all of them except the first one, because I'm trying to find the biggest one, and I'm saying I'm going to look at the first one. The biggest one is the first one by definition. But if when I look at the second one, if the second one's biggest, the biggest one becomes the second one. Do you see what I'm doing?
I can understand that, but you know, we need something like this. If we have an opportunity to remove one element, and one element only, then we can have the biggest first by doing array max, and remove that element and choose another biggest.
Okay. Okay, so we can say, okay, so how do we remove, right. So we can say,
by the way, let's switch at this point and let you code, and if we are available, we will switch again. But I want to switch that, then you can code and I can comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I am coding. So we're going to try and, I actually think there's a different way of doing this, but let's see if we can make it work the way that we're trying to make it work, okay? So what you're saying is, let's say, we'll take out all of this. So we say sum max equals array.max, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. And I bet that would work if there was only one item in the array.
Can we delete from array?
Sorry?
Can we delete from array, or?
Well, that's the interesting question, isn't it? How do we delete from an array? So, I've got the, can you see the documentation for array? I'm not sure who's showing whose screen at the moment.
Yeah, I can. If you can copy and paste me the address, okay. I will look from my view also.
Okay, so let me put in some documentation for some methods that I think are useful. Because there's a method called delete. There's also a method called delete at. And you know, which might be helpful. I'm wondering if there's a, because just doing delete isn't going to work. We have to know what position the maximum item is at. So
we have position information, right?
Well, do we?
Let's see.
In new.
So see, there is an example for delete. Can you see?
Sorry, I'm not. What do you?
With the address I just copied to my Chrome, and there is a snippet of code.
Okay, I can't see what you have at the moment. Let me let me stop sharing that.
Okay, I will show you.
What do you have here?
Let me have a moment. I will share. I will share another screen of mine. I hope this is it.
Okay.
And let me take another. But okay, you see there is an example for it.
Okay, but the problem is it deletes all of the items that are equal to a particular value.
Yes.
It doesn't just delete. So if the array contained two values that had the same value, like they were both 200 or something, and that was the biggest value, then that would delete both of them, which is not the right thing to do.
Yes, there are two possible solutions. We have to use delete and delete only. Then we will first get the length of in this example with this A array I'm talking about. I'm taking the length of A, which is 5. Then delete, take the max. In this example, let's say, which is B, and it returns me B. This is first value, and I delete B. Then take another length. If B is alone, the length of A should be 4. Then I can take another max of it and use it. But if it is less than 4, then B's are duplicated, and I can use B plus B, and that's the result.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're. Okay.
I'm not using this also. This is not a good job.
It's a terrible job, but let's see if we can make it work. Okay. There's a much easier way. There's a much easier way to do this, but let's go. Let's go through doing it first. Okay.
Yes, let's do it with fun.
Yeah. We'll learn some.
But
we'll learn this way.
You see, there is a delete at index, so there is an indexing idea. So it should be an we are
actually. I don't. I think what you suggested, we don't actually need to do the we don't need deleted index at all. We can, if we do this thing that you've suggested with the length, then I think we can make it work. So let me see if I can make this work. Okay. I mean, this is not the way I think we should be writing the code, but we'll see if we can make it work.
It is much fun.
It is much fun, as you say. Yes. Okay. So. Here is the plan. We take the maximum from the array.
Yeah.
And then we say we delete. Can we say?
Yeah. Before deleting it, you should take the length of the array.
Okay. So we'll say length equals array dot length.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we say. Okay, we'll say I know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I say if let's call that one old length. If there's only one copy of the maximum, then we can say, I'm actually going to call this, I'm going to follow Ruby naming convention. I'm going to call this max value 1, and I'm going to call this max value 2. This is going to be, okay, else, if we've deleted it more than once, well, then it can just be the same as max value 1, because we know there's at least 2 in there. Okay. And then we're going to. Okay, how does that look?
Yes, let's try it.
This is the most outrageous way of writing this routine, but we'll see if it works. Okay, so I'm just going to run it and see what happens. So, okay, that looks good. It didn't give any exceptions. I'm going to try it with the T4 test as well. It gave me an exception that time.
There's
some typos. What have I done wrong?
In array delete, new array is equal to array dot delete some max value 1. It should be max value 1.
Oh, of course, yes, thank you. Yes, that was silly. Yeah, if you're gonna refactor your code by renaming all the variables, you better do it consistently.
Yeah. Which is the
delete method doesn't do what I think it does. Let's have a look at what the delete method does.
Maybe it is length equal to.
No, the delete. Length. You see, what delete returns is the last deleted item. It doesn't return the array, so it's not what we think it is. Maybe we want a different method. Maybe we
can use the A also. Check out the code.
Sorry?
See, check the example. After we delete B from the A array, see, then it prints the array and it returns the deleted array. So you do not need to assign it to another. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So we just need to say that. Yes. Okay. Okay, that looks better. All right, let's try that.
Then there's the length is equal to issue.
Oh, thank you.
Length for 1, 2, 3.
Try that again. It's because I used 1 equal rather than 2 equals.
Yeah.
Ah! No,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This is fun.
Yay! Got it. Okay. Yes. Good. So let's run the test properly. Let's run all the tests now.
Yeah.
And it works. Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the most terrible solution to this problem.
Yes. It is an innovative solution by means of if you do not know the all the functions, all the ideas, you may still achieve the results.
Yes, we have, but we're demonstrating that we're dyed-in-the-wool C programmers and we haven't embraced Ruby. Okay, so let's try and do a proper Ruby solution. Okay, so I'll show you how I did this in Ruby when I did it earlier. Okay, because I think there's a much nicer way to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
So we start with the array. Okay, and we sort the array. Okay, so actually let me just do this here. Okay.
Fantastic. You are. Yeah. I didn't thought of it.
Yeah. So start with the array, and we'll sort the array. There, we sorted the array. Now there's a bit of a problem here because we've sorted the array. It's sorted into increasing order, and we want it to be in decreasing order. So, so to make it into decreasing order, so here's how I tried to make. I got this wrong when I tried it. What do you think? So I thought, well, I'm going to write. That's what you do. You write it like that. Do you think does that look right?
Yeah, I think you are given a function. a sort for the sorting.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't work. Okay, and it turns out that what you have to do is you have to use this funny operator like that. Okay.
Evet. Yes,
So,
yes.
Because what it wants, if you read the documentation of sort, is it wants a value between like -1, 0, or 1. So it's a really old arithmetic if statement in Fortran, if you've come across that. You probably haven't unless you're as old as I am and started programming about 50 years ago. But in Fortran, there's a statement, there used to be a statement where you could write something like this, and it would say 10, 20, 30. And what that meant was, effectively, that's not going to work at all in Ruby, but it basically said if A is, I should get this right. Have I got it right? Basically, it would have to be if A minus B. And basically, if the condition is negative, you go to one statement. If the condition is 0, you go to a second statement. And if the condition, so this is a really weird thing that they had in Fortran, which was the very first programming language. Anyway, so we're going to sort the array. So let me just sort the array again. So we can sort the array, and then what we can do is we can take the first two elements of the sorted array. Okay, so that will give us the two highest elements. And then what we can do is we can add those two elements together. So essentially what we want to say is, I think what we want to say is we want to add together the result of sorting the array A comma B, B less than equal A, and just take the first two items of that. Okay, does that make sense? So we're actually using our sum function that we wrote before to do the work for us.
Let me I do it in another fashion.
Okay.
But
okay. Let me just run this first and see if it works.
This is fantastic. I mean, I'm just let me say it like this. I'm just, if you permit, I will just copy this function, not as my solution, but I will put in comments to show you what I am learning from you. This is not a new way of writing Ruby, but this is an elegant way of thinking as a solution.
Yes. If this is, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I am just doing like this, and so you can see my code. I also take the I write it right. Okay. Thank you, Robert, for showing me such an elegant way.
Thank you. Oh, it's right. So, are you doing your? Did you have a solution, or was your solution like the one we had before?
Yeah, I have a solution, and it is based on. Let me, show you via Hangouts. It is basically which your solution is better than mine. I use a min value like a C programmer, which is the min for this thing.
Yeah.
And then I use each index because as you see there was delete and delete index.
Yeah.
You remember? Then we have a indexing idea. Then I take an advice from another participant of this course for the each index, and I use each index.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then at this side, I have 2 pointers,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some max and some max 2 by doing this. Then we have the solution, but yours is better. And for this issue, this mean value issue, you see,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it previously like this, you know.
Yeah.
This is not so far from this solution.
Yeah.
This seems nicer, but as Rabbi, they may give us an incredibly negative number, and
Yeah.
with this negative number, I may suck at this test. But now the tests are passing, so that's okay for me.
Okay. Yes. That's good. Yes. I think if there was an easy way to get, you would expect there to be a constant for the integer class in Ruby that told you what the minimum value was, and you should be able to use that constant. But if these fixed numbers are in fact of infinite precision, then there is no, then you effectively want the value from minus infinity, and I don't know what that value is. So my suggestion was, to so long as you know there's at least one item in the array, you know that the biggest item in the array has to be bigger than the first item in the array. Okay, so instead of saying for each item in the array, you can say for each item in the array except the first item. And then, so what you do is you set the maximum so far to be the first item, and then you say for all the other items in the array, in other words, everyone except the first one, if that item is bigger than the first one, then set the maximum so far to be the new one.
Yeah.
So that's the way of getting round not knowing what the minimum value is. But it doesn't, of course, it doesn't work for an empty array, which after all poses the question: is what is the minimum of an empty array? It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing there, so how can it have a smallest value? But if you know there's at least one value, then you know that the smallest value or the biggest value is bigger than or smaller than that value. So that gives you a way of initializing these loops. But thinking of the array as a sequence and using operations like max and sort and so on, that's the idea, I think, that it makes these things much easier. I think it's probably time that we stopped, because we've been doing this for a couple of hours now, but it's been really interesting, and it's been nice to meet you, and it's been a good experience to kind of share each other's ideas and make mistakes together and help each other fix some mistakes and so on. I think that's
sure.
good.
And let me return to the camera, and I believe that we show the essence of pair programming and working together. So I don't think it is necessary to do all the jobs together.
Mm-hmm.
And we can work on these issues by ourselves for the sake of submitting the code.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can provide me the link, you are on air now, and there is a small YouTube link that we will have to paste it to submission page.
Okay. Yes, I think if let's see what happens. If I stop the broadcast, hopefully.
No, you can, but you can see it like this. From the Google Hangouts window,
Yeah.
you see it's broadcasting at the green button. At the top of the screen.
At the top of the screen, at the top of the screen, it says live, and
live,
and at the bottom of the screen there's a. Sorry.
Then you should go to like these positions, and there's a chain icon.
Oh yes, I see the chain icon. Yeah.
Links. Okay, click on that.
Aha. Yeah.
So you think.
Yeah, I'm just going to paste it into there. I'm not sure how I paste it in actually. How does this thing work?
Copy and paste it through the chat message. I will take.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it goes there.
But if you like,
can you see that?
I will be. Yeah. And I am clicking on it, so I can see us live. Yeah, I can see us live. And I'm just closing it for not to echo. And I took this link, and we will paste it for the graders to see.
Okay.
And if you like, I would very much like to be in contact with you and do assignments or do other things like chatting or do some pair programming again with you.
Yes, yes, it has been fun, and it's convenient that we're in the same time zone as well. Well, I'm not sure we are, because Istanbul must be 2 hours away.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, no, it's been good. It's been good to work with you and meet you, and I think we've, you know, it's been a useful experience.
So please, you contact me via Hangout. Please add me as a contact, and I will add you as a contact also. But it was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. It's been good to meet you. Okay, good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay.
Okay, bye bye.